Hello everybody and welcome to Rush Reality. My name is Sam, thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm here to talk to you about 12 more awesome things you can do in VR that are not gaming. And this video is absolutely thanks to you lot, because the last time I posted a non-gaming video I had so many comments of things I left out that I've been able to do a whole new video. And some of the best suggestions in today's video came from those very comments, so thank you so much. And again, if I'm missing anything today, let me know because I would love to do round 3. Now we've got some awesome stuff on this list and I'm sure there'll be something for absolutely everybody. So let's jump in with number 1. Number 1 is to learn a new language in VR. Now it's been shown time and time again that we learn much better when we're actually doing things physically. It's much more effective than just reading a textbook or maybe listening to a transcript, watching a video, that kind of thing. The app I'm going to tell you about today is called Language Lab VR. Language Lab VR is an incredible new way to learn a new language. What it does is it places you into a physical scenario. You can interact with the world around you and learn about the names for the objects you're interacting with as you go. Then, when you come to recall those words later on in time, you can think back to actually physically dealing with them, and you'll be able to recall the words so much quicker. I think it's a fantastic idea. And if you're thinking of learning a new language, maybe it's on your New Year's resolution list, then you've got to try it out. Number 2 on our list is to watch 180-degree or 360-degree VR movies. I really do think this is the next step in entertainment. I've spoken about it before, got a full video on it, I'll put a link in the corner. It's something you've really got to check out. So when I say watching a VR movie, I don't mean something like a big screen experience where you're going in and watching a video on a screen in VR. I mean actually being placed inside that movie. So you can turn your head, you can see what's going on around you as if you're actually sat there. It really is on a whole new level. Now this has been possible for quite some time, but the experiences have got better and better and better. In the early days, everything was really low resolution and it really kind of kicked out the immersion for me. But things have got better and there's a few experiences you've absolutely got to check out. My favourite is some content called the Soloist. The Soloist follows famous climber Alex Honnold as he attempts to climb some of the most dangerous mountains in the world. This is a truly immersive experience. You're able to join him on the mountain, you're able to sit in on the campsite conversations as they plan their route. It really is very engaging. The content is really high quality and the picture looks fantastic. Number 3 on our list is to visit a museum. Some of the biggest museums in the world have entirely virtual experiences that you can take from home. It really is incredible. It will cost you a fortune to fly around the world visiting these different places. It's so easy to just jump in. It really is worth doing. Some of the best examples include the Guggenheim, the Tate, the Van Gogh experience. There really is so many different ones you can look up. Just get on Google, type in VR museum tour, and you'll see countless options. If you've got a spare hour and you fancy a bit of culture, I can't recommend it more. Number 4 involves traveling a little further, visiting other planets. There is an incredible app called Space Engine that attempts to create a one-to-one scale replication of our universe. Now previously we talked about things like Spacewalk VR that are kind of like a video experience of what it's like to be on the space station. Well, this is on a whole new level because here you get to take the experience into your own hands. You can control where you go, you can play with time, you can visit anywhere you'd like, stay within our solar system or venture out to further galaxies. The graphics look genuinely incredible. Now it is still in early access, but you can jump in for a small fee and it is in great shape, so I really recommend you check it out. That brings us to number 5 on our list, which is perfecting public speaking. Now picture this, maybe work or school have tasked you with speaking in front of an audience, something you're not particularly comfortable with. Well, VR can help you get comfortable. There's an awesome app called Virtual Speech that brings a whole range of different environments you can choose from. Maybe you're due to speak at a conference or even a panel interview. Maybe it's a one-to-one situation and you just want to build up a bit of confidence. This is the app to do it. You can even import your own slides and work through a presentation you've pre-prepared. It will help you iron out any finer details. I think this is a fantastic tool. Which brings us nicely on to number 6, which helps us take that idea just a little bit further. Here you can attempt stand-up comedy. Now Horizon Worlds has what's called the open mic room. You can go into a room where you can nominate yourself to get up on the mic and attempt whatever you want. It could be some stand-up comedy, maybe you want to read some poetry. There'll be a room of people watching and you can really face your fears. You'll get some feedback. In all honesty, the rooms I've been in have been genuinely supportive. I hope that's the experience right throughout. I think it's a really good way of dipping your toes into the water of something that could be much bigger without the risks that come alongside it. So number 7 on our list, multi-screen computing. Picture this, you've got a one-screen setup at home with the computer and you're thinking about expanding. Maybe you want to get a couple of extra screens so you can do some real productivity tasks. Well, that's going to cost you a few £100. Or you could just use your VR headset. With the Quest 2, just connect via Oculus Link and press the little plus sign to add a virtual screen. You can do this as many times as you want, make them as big or small as you want and position them anywhere. I have to say I've done this a fair few times and the resolution on the Quest 2 does leave a little bit to be desired, so you wouldn't want too many windows. I'm told the clarity on the Quest Pro makes it even better. This really could be the future. Just think how much space is taken up by multi-screen setups. With just one VR headset you can have as many screens as you want, and I think things will continue to get better and better over time. So that brings us to number 8, and that is watching VR music videos. There have been some awesome VR performances and VR music videos that have been specifically created to watch on your headset. One of the best I've seen was by Post Malone. He did this really kind of emotional performance. The camera panned around him, gave a full 360-degree view. And you can see the whole thing I thought was really cool. It was a really engaging way to watch a performance. There's been full videos created for people like Elton John, The Weeknd. There's quite a lot to look up. It's genuinely worth checking out. It really is much better than the traditional music video. So that brings us to number 9, which is to learn a new instrument. Now the best app I've found for this is an app called Piano Vision. Piano Vision is pretty incredible. You can learn to play on a virtual keyboard and that is really fun to play with. I actually don't think that that is the most engaging way to use this app. As somebody who does play guitar, I can tell you that the touch and feel really is quite important. It's good to get to know, how things feel and where your fingers should be on the actual instrument. That is why Piano Vision is fantastic when you team it up with a MIDI keyboard connected directly to your headset. You can then play in pass-through mode and you'll see the notes travelling down your screen and hit them in the right places on the keyboard. It's a fantastic way to learn a new instrument. That brings us on to number 10, which is in a very similar vein. You can create music in VR. Now the best app I've found for this is Virtuoso. Virtuoso is awesome. There are so many interesting ways that you can interact with these weird setups to create some really cool sounds. You can physically play the drums, hitting away at loads of different pads. There's loads of different setups that all make different sounds. You can create loops, you can create full songs. It's really cool, really fun. I think they've set it out really well. It's very simple and I think anyone can jump in and quickly put something creative together. That brings us on to number 11, which is to learn to DJ in VR. Now Tribe XR is genuinely incredible. This isn't like a game, this is a full DJing experience. You can import your own tracks, you can play with professional quality gear from companies like Pioneer that look fantastic. You can have enormous mixers with hundreds of little switches. I wouldn't know where to get started, but luckily there's some really engaging lessons you can work through. You can even invite your friends in and put on an entire show from within the app. Connect it to a Quest Pro and you can play in a mixed reality environment, so you can play in your own setting. As a young lad, I always wanted to get into DJing and I never really put in the time and effort. I think this is an engaging way that I really would quickly get to grips with it. So that brings us to number 12, the final experience on our list today, and that is dating in VR. Now these aren't experiences that I can personally say I've tried. I'm a married man and I don't think that would go down well, but I've seen some really engaging apps advertised. There's a mobile app called Never Met that lets you converse using your VR avatars. You can chat, see if you get on, and then agree to go on a date in the metaverse. I think this is really cool and a really interesting way for people to meet people when they're not necessarily so confident going out into the wider world. So there you have it, that is my list. I really do think there's something for everybody. If you've enjoyed that, if you found it interesting, then please hit the like button. If you thought there's something missing that should have been on this list, then please let me know in the comments below. I would love to see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Goodbye.